And last night, I was talking with my god sisters in the Balaram hall, and Shaktimati and I were talking about when Srila Prabhupada, the evening that Srila Prabhupada left his body. And in Srila Prabhupada's room, the whole of the Vrindavan Yatra fit, plus all the guests is the wrong word, all the visiting devotees that had come to be with Srila Prabhupada fit, and then the Delhi temple that arrived just minutes before Prabhupada left, they all fit. That was how many we were. But because of Srila Prabhupada's glorious chanting, glorious preaching, now our temple has just shrunk to such a small size. This morning I couldn't even get out the temple, and I'm not a weak woman. I've done Padayatra, I can wrestle bulls. And even I couldn't get out the temple. One man had to help me get out, and I'm used, I'm good at shoving and pushing. And that is the glories of Srila Prabhupada, that he's filled our temple, the whole of Vrindavan. He's just all chock-a-block full. And it's no doubt in my mind that that's all because of our Srila Prabhupada's chanting. It's all come from Srila Prabhupada. So that was my first feeling, thinking about Prabhupada's chanting. And then I was thinking in March, there was the most incredible festival here. I know a lot of you were here. And we were celebrating 40 years of Krishna Balaram Mandir, the installation of Krishna and Balaram, and Gananava came, and Surabi came, and all the old god sisters who were here then, Vishalani came, Ambika came. And it was actually, I know I sound like I'm being really, dramatic, but it was actually a life-changing festival. To hear all those stories again, the struggle of the cement. I mean, which 20-year-old talks about cement every day? But that was what we used to do. We used to talk about cement and the difficulties of cement. And to hear all those stories again, and to remember all those wonderful times with Srila Prabhupada that we spent here, and to kind of say goodbye to Sarabi after a wonderful preach, the wonderful service he did, because it was practically an impossible thing to build a temple in those years with no cement. Here I am talking about cement again. And to experience that, I went home and I was on like this buzz, this happiness. For months and months I was just so happy remembering that festival. And that Srila Prabhupada, not only is he so glorious, but he made our lives glorious. Sure, we've had problems, who doesn't? But he's actually made our lives happy, glorious. He's fulfilled our lives. And although, as I said, there's obviously, we're in the material world, there's going to be some downers, there's going to be some problems. But I don't regret for 1 minute joining Srila Prabhupada's movement, because he's made my life wonderful. He's the perfect spiritual master, and he's also the perfect servant of his spiritual master. I'll just tell this funny story. Well, I think it's kind of funny because it shows how incredibly potent Srila Prabhupada is. I read in a magazine one time, it was a magazine from Bhubaneswar, those magazines, nice magazines. And it was a quote from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati saying that if the Rath Yatra cart, obviously I'm paraphrasing, I'm not doing verbatim, if the Jagannath cart goes to Eastbourne, of all places, which is like a seaside place in England, if the Jagannath goes to Eastbourne, then Alanath, Gaudianath, and Gopinath will appear in the sky, and something like that this quote was. So I'm looking at this and I think, oh my God, we've got to do Rath Yatra in Eastbourne, which is just a really small seaside town, which apparently Prabhupada's godbrothers preached in to some lady who had a house there. That's my understanding. So, as it turned out, we did the Rath Yatra in Eastbourne, and we were all looking in the sky, looking for Gaudianath, Alanath, and Gopinath to come floating. And we really were, we were expecting something. And it was a wonderful Rath Yatra. And then afterwards, I realized, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, he didn't tell Srila Prabhupada to do that. He told, I think maybe Bon Maharaj, can't remember which one. But because of Srila Prabhupada, this Rath Yatra happened. Not because of anyone else, because of Srila Prabhupada, the Ratha Yatra happened, fulfilling Bhaktisiddhanta's desire. So I say Srila Prabhupada, he's not only the perfect spiritual master, he's also the perfect disciple of his spiritual master. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.